90%. That is how much time we spend indoors now. Our ancestors would barely recognize us anymore. For the longest time, I didn't realize how that was silently destroying my own well-being until I made one rather radical change. But before I tell you about that, let's get out of here. I'm going to the forest today. I'm packing my camera and we're going to take some macro photos. And if you're new here, hi, I'm G. I'm a fantasy author. I live in an off-grid cabin in Western Australia, writing stories inspired by Mother Nature. But 10 years ago, my life wasn't disconnected to nature at all.
Back then, I lived in Berlin, working as a TV producer. Something was missing from my life, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. I had the career, the apartment, the social life, everything I thought I wanted. Yet there was this persistent emptiness. It took me a long time to identify the root cause.
I was missing nature. The concrete jungle of Berlin, while culturally rich, was starving me of something fundamental as humans need. So, I did a thing.
I left my entire life behind to train as a nature guide in South Africa. For a full year, I immersed myself in wilderness, learning how to track animals, identify plants, and read the landscape like a book. That's also where I met my husband, who whisked me away to Australia, the place I'm lucky to call home today.
The training completely transformed me from the inside out. I was learning to look at the world through an entirely different lens.
Every morning we'd walk through the bush studying how everything interacts in perfect harmony. I realized that nothing exists in isolation. Every species plays a vital role in the health of the whole system. Remove one element and the entire ecosystem shifts. There are no wasted or unimportant parts. What I discovered firsthand during my journey is a simple yet life-changing realization.
I am part of all of this. Everything around me is alive. We are part of nature.
And yet we've engineered ourselves into an unprecedented experiment. For the first time in human history, we've almost completely separated ourselves from the natural world. We spend our days under artificial lights, surrounded by synthetic materials, breathing recycled air.
Our bodies and our minds simply weren't designed for this radical shift away from nature.
And this isn't just about missing out on pretty scenery. There are real consequences to this disconnection. Our circadian rhythms get disrupted, our stress systems stay activated, and we lose access to the microbiome diversity that helps regulate our immune systems.
And I know you know this. You clicked on this video because you know this. But the question is, how did we get here? And what do we do about it?
Well, it happened gradually, almost without us noticing. First came the agricultural revolution, when we stopped following the rhythms of nature as nomadic hunter-gatherers and instead tried to control nature through farming.
Then the Industrial Revolution moved us from fields into factories.
We began congregating in cities, trading natural landscapes for concrete ones.
And finally, the Digital Revolution completed our indoor migration.
Now we can work, shop, socialize and entertain ourselves without ever leaving our homes. Our screens became windows to a virtual world while our actual windows stay closed.
We've been sold this story that progress means convenience and comfort, but by pursuing these things, inadvertently, we have cut ourselves off from everything that sustained our species for millennia.
Each step seemed logical, beneficial even, but collectively they've created a profound disconnection from the very environment that shaped our biology, psychology, and even our spirituality for hundreds of thousands of years. Scientists are increasingly finding links between our indoor lifestyles and rising rates of anxiety, depression, and chronic health issues.
They even have a word for it now: nature deficit disorder.
The thing is, we don't even realize what we're missing because the disconnection has become our normal. We've collectively forgotten what it feels like to be truly connected to the natural world.
Think about it. Every other animal on this planet is essentially barefoot, constantly connected to this earth. But us, we have completely insulated ourselves with our rubber soles and our four walls.
There's actually science behind the practice of earthing, or grounding, making direct contact with the Earth's surface. Because the surface has a negative electrical charge, and when we connect to it barefoot, we absorb beneficial electrons that can reduce inflammation and improve sleep. I try to spend at least 15 minutes each day with my bare feet on the ground. It's such a simple practice, but the effects are profound.
Now I know what you're thinking. Easy for her to say living in her off-grid cabin, right? But listen, nature connection really doesn't need such a radical change.
That's right. Even small doses can have powerful effects. Studies show that just 20 minutes in a natural setting significantly lowers stress hormones.
And finding those natural spots might be easier than you think. And here are 5 other simple ways to reconnect with nature, no matter where you live.
First, try to get outside within the first hour of waking up. Morning light helps regulate your circadian rhythm and can improve your mood for the entire day. Second, create micro-nature experiences. Keep plants in your home and workplace. Studies show that even looking at images of nature can lower blood pressure and reduce stress. Third, become a nature detective in your neighborhood. Challenge yourself to find 5 natural things you've never noticed before on your commute.
The perfect archway.
Fourth, consider starting a small garden, even if it's just herbs on a windowsill. The act of tending to plants connects us to natural cycles and gives us a sense of purpose and care.
And number 5, make a date with nature at least once a week. When I look back on my journey today, I realized that what I was searching for was always right there. I literally just had to step outside to find it.
We're part of the natural world, not separate from it. And when we remember this, when we make even small efforts to reconnect, something profound happens. We begin to feel whole again. But it goes beyond personal healing. When we experience ourselves as part of nature rather than apart from it, we naturally begin to make choices that protect and restore the environments we depend on.
I truly believe that what heals us ultimately heals the earth as well. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you feel when you spend time out in nature? Do you maybe have something nice planned to reconnect this week? Drop me a comment down below, and remember, if you've watched this far, to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I see you back here for the next video.